Durban. Now, it's time to recap on the top trending topic of the week, both locally and internationally. Of course, this week, South Africa has been obsessed on the Nkandla Constitutional Court hearing, but it's also something that's made waves around the world. It's not always about politics, though. South Africans are also talking about other things. Our sporting teams, for instance, are letting us down once again on the big stage, as they do. You know, there are other things that we're talking about. Tonya Curry is with me, as always. Lovely to have you with us again, Tonya.
It's always a pleasure to be here, Evan.
Has it been a difficult week for South Africa on social media?
It's been a difficult and very vocal week. It does surprise me how the charts morph from one day to another. You know, earlier in the week, we saw the Guptas were dominating the charts, and then all of a sudden, the Proteas just took over. The chart lit up bright green, and it dominated the charts by a good 30 or 40%. And now it's all morphed again. Now we have on the screen, I think you can see the social media charts.
I think after yesterday, it's quite obvious that the Constitutional Court hearing would be one of the main things, one of the main points of discussion on social media. But of course, the Proteas come in second place here, and I'm sure there have been some choice memes around the Proteas and so forth on social media. That I'm sure the big C word, choke, have been doing the rounds.
You've been watching social media closely, but and yes, you're quite right.
Yeah, you know, I'm active on social media as a viewer. Someone in my position can't really afford to comment too much, because, you know, it's a place where it's very easy, Tonya, to get involved. And you know, I've had my share of involvement on social media. It doesn't really affect one in a positive way.
No, it doesn't. And me too. I stick to the stats, produce my charts, and keep very quiet after that.
Yeah, no, you learn. I think you learn as you sort of carry on. But, well, what are some of the other things that stood out this week? Of course, it's very political, but that's South Africa. Julius Malema's degree, of course, has also come into the spotlight. Some people have tried to poke fun of it, but a lot of people have come out in support of Julius Malema.
Yes, there's been quite a few accolades.
Saying that, you know, it's a good thing that you try and improve yourself.
Absolutely, but look how small it is.
Yeah.
It's 0.94%, and that's not to say it's not a big story. It is a big story, but it's been absolutely dwarfed by the other big stories on the chart.
Sylvester the Lion? Dwarfed by Sylvester the Lion, is that right?
You know, that had we not had such a political week in our country, or such a political last 7 days, I think Sylvester would have been a lot bigger story. You know, when we look back at Cecil the Lion and what happened there, okay, I believe Sylvester is safe and we're all good, but there was a day when we didn't know what was going to happen to poor Sylvester.
Absolutely.
So coming in about 2%, I think, Sylvester the Lion.
Madonsela, of course, is a darling in the media, here in South Africa. Are they the 3.4%? There, are they talking about the new hairstyle, the new outfit, the sash across the head that we saw yesterday? Is that the kind of discussion?
Not really. There's a bit of that, but I think more the fact that she has sort of she's kept that demure composure, and I think people are accolading that, and also people are very happy with Julie Madonsela.
Yeah, very happy with the way she's dressing as well. She's looking like the belle of the ball every time she makes a public appearance. But let's quickly talk, before we go international, I want to talk about South Africans' obsession with absolutely nailing our sporting teams on social media. Are we the worst supporters in the world?
No, I don't think so. And I think, you know, I spoke to somebody on air this morning about us being bipolar. You know, well, like, the minute we win, we're like, yay, and then the minute we lose, we're like, oh, I hate you guys. Like, nobody loves us. And so Bafana firmly in the spotlight. Proteas firmly in the spotlight. I see the Springboks is starting to make an impact on the charts this morning with the coach.
Yeah, the new coach that'll come. You know, that's the biggest hoax. The coach won't be announced today. There'll be a meeting today. They'll announce it in a couple of weeks, but it's a worst kept secret that it'll be Alistair Coetzee, and bless him, you know, he's been a wonderful coach in South Africa.
Yes.
Let's go internationally now. People still talking about Easter weekend, or
can you believe
Donald Trump? I've seen some pictures of Donald Trump in the nude on social media. Have you seen those?
I think he's trying to match up with the Kardashians, right? So what I found fascinating about this chart is that Donald Trump came up with some really ridiculous commentary this week about abortions, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
So I expected a bright pink chart, and look at it. It's all Easter. 61% of our conversation.
Easter in what way? Is it Easter religious?
Happy Easter to everybody. Good Friday messages, Easter Sunday messages, happy holiday messages, all related in some way to Easter.
Okay.
61% of our international chart, pushing Trump to 6% after those ridiculous comments. And that makes me think, is there a bit of Trump fatigue, maybe?
Yeah, I think
I'm not
we're all
sure.
kind of getting tired of Donald Trump, to be
Perhaps.
honest. Hillary Clinton is doing well, but Bernie Sanders is giving a much tougher run than people expected.
Absolutely. Ted Cruz is also absolutely up there. And the U.S. elections is always a big thing on our chart. What's something interesting to see is the lack of interest in the Kardashians. You know, we find that they tend to break the internet. And no, not this time. I think it's the second time that Kim has taken to nude posing and nobody cares.
No, it's not the second time, Tonya. She's new every week, man. She's got a kit off every single week, this woman.
Okay.
If it's not from behind, it's from the side, it's somewhere. You know, I don't know how you can take a selfie in your bedroom from the other side of the room. That's not a selfie. That is called a photograph that someone else has taken from you.
You're so right. And also had Ronnie Corbett pass away yesterday, so
yes.
the Brits are in mourning for the comedian.
Let's hope that the world suffer from Kardashian fatigue, because, I mean, this is a sad indictment as to where the human race is, are the Kardashians. Let's quickly talk, before we wrap up, about April Fool's Day. I see there's a lot of stuff going around today. I had many ideas for April Fool's Day today, I must admit, but can't be making light of serious matters always. At least that's what my boss tells
Well, I've
me.
got my entire team dressed up in sports gear, ready for our mental health and fitness assessment. So April Fool!
Wonderful. That's fantastic. Tonya Curry is doing the business with us. Now, I can tell you, going forward from today, next week onwards, Tonya, of course, is the Managing Director of Roy Africa. Now, Tonya and her team, they're going to make some unique information, social media information and the like, and we're going to try and present it in quite a unique way I think from the 11th of April. Is that right?
That's right.
From the 11th of April, Newsroom will be having a collaboration with Roy Africa, also SABC Digital News, to try and bring you the news in a kind of different format and a different style, which is what Roy Africa and Newsroom, of course, were all about. Thank you very much, Tonya. I'll see you next week.
Have a good weekend, dear.
Fantastic. Tonya Curry, MD of Roy Africa. Time for us now to, to go to the weather desk where Phil Hawkins, hopefully,